Hi, hello and welcome to this very video of the Kawasaki Z900. This particular bike has been provided by Monsterbike located in Drammen. This is the 2020 model. It's got some serious upgrades compared to the 2019 model. So let's take a look at that. But first, let's just look at some basic specs for this motorcycle. The 2020 Kawasaki Z900 has got a 945cc inline-4 engine, putting out 125 horsepower and 98.6 Newton meters of torque. Compared to the 2019 model, the 2020 has gotten some upgrades. The headlight and the turning signals are now LEDs, and the display is now a full TFT color display. But the biggest upgrade for this model has been it getting 4 riding modes: Sport, Rain, Road, and the customizable Rider mode. You can switch between these modes while riding or through the smartphone app. Yes, that is right. You have the option to connect your phone to this motorcycle via Bluetooth, if you're into that kind of tech. Now, this particular bike has got some additional parts added to it. You've got a windscreen up front, you've got a tank pad on the tank to protect the tank from any zippers and stuff like that. You've got a rear seat cowl, an RNG license plate holder, and you've also got an Acropovic exhaust. This is just a slip-on, so it's not super loud. But that is all just numbers and fancy parts. But how is it actually riding it? Let's go for a ride and we'll see how it is. That's embarrassing. Kickstand. Alright, off we go.
So how is this bike in the corners? Well, to be honest, the extra weight that you have compared to the MT-09, for example, I don't feel it. When you're moving, this thing is just super stable around the corners. I know exactly where it will be and where it's going in the corners. It's not that it feels laser sharp when you're going into the corners, stuff like that, but it just feels stable, high. And I can't really ask for anything else. The front of this bike is planted so freaking well on the tarmac right here, or the asphalt, if you will. And that is something that I kind of miss with the MT-09, is that it doesn't feel this planted in the corners. The smooth engine of this bike makes this a lot easier for us to kind of have this flow over the mountain that we currently are.
Now, obviously twisties are just one part of the riding experience. Overall, this is a very smooth motorcycle, no matter how many sharp edges the fairings have. For the most part, I rode in the rider mode, which allows you to set both the traction control and the power mode independent of each other. The riding position on the Z900 felt very natural only seconds after I started riding. With your body slightly leaned forward towards the handlebars and a feeling that you're sitting in the bike instead of on the bike, it didn't really take me long to settle in and enjoy the Z900. I also had a slight problem with the positioning of my right foot. I'm not sure if this is a me problem, but sitting normally on the bike with my heel a bit up for a more aggressive riding style, my heel would at times touch the inside of the slip-on exhaust and the exhaust hanger. As I said, this might just be a me problem, but I thought it was worth mentioning this. With all this in mind, I see no actual problem using the Z900 for example, commuting on the highway or riding it in the canyons. I found the suspension to be a very capable all-arounder. I'd definitely say that it's a little bit on the sporty side, but it's still soft enough for everyday use. Riding in the twisties, I did however have a few corners where the bike felt a bit bouncy. The suspension is adjustable with preload and rebound, so there might be a way to fix the slight bounciness that I experienced. Overall, I think the Z900 is a fantastic motorcycle, and with its upgraded electronics, it now feels a lot more competitive in today's market. No, it does not have the low-end torque that you find on a 2 or 3 cylinder in the same cc range. But if you are looking for a very smooth engine and a bike that just feels really planted and inspires confidence in the corners, I'd seriously consider the Z900.
So before we deliver this bike back to Monsterbike, I thought we would do like a Q&A. So I asked in the beginning of my period with this bike, what do you want to know? These are your questions. Follow me on Instagram if you want to join me or ask questions for the next bike. How does it compare to the MT-09 power and comfort? Power-wise, it's almost just as fast as the MT-09 except for the low-end power. And the seating position is a little bit better, to be honest, for my taste. Is it better than the MT-09 SP? Depends what you want. If you want a stable bike, this is it. If you want a bully bike, you get the MT-09. Will it blend? I'm sure it will. I don't know. How much to buy the Z900? In Norway, it's about 163,000 NOK. Does it wheelie? Yes. How is the sound? It's weird because when I'm riding slow, I hear this punchy bass, but when I when I speed up, the sound kind of disappears behind me, I guess. So yeah, it's kind of quiet, but I'm sure it's way louder than the original one. What's the top speed? I think the top speed is around 217 kilometers an hour, which isn't that much, but I mean, it's way more than you would need. And that was everything. So now, let's get back to Monsterbike and deliver this Z900 back to where it belongs. About that sound. How does it sound? Just like that, actually. One thing that is not getting me super hyped about this motorcycle is the fact that the rear seat is super high up compared to my MT-09, meaning that when I am wearing a backpack, it is sitting very close to the rear seat cowl that I've got on the back, the single seat plastics. Just one thing to note if you're riding a lot with a backpack and thinking about getting a seat cowl.
What do you think about the 2020 Z900? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're at it, check out Monsterbike as well as all the people that helped me with this video. Links will be down in the description.